This molecule over here has 3 chiral atoms. I also drew a structure for you here on the right side. Now, the question is, can you assign all of the stereodescriptors in this molecule? Hey everyone, Victor is here. I'm a professional chemist and chemistry educator. I make videos about organic chemistry and related topics. Subscribe if you want to see more. Alright, back to our molecule. As I've mentioned, we have 3 chiral carbons here. This one here, then we have this guy, and finally this one. I'm going to call those atom A, atom B, and my last atom C. Now, pause this video right now, assign those stereodescriptors, then comment below what you got, and then we're going to compare at the end whether you got it right or not. Now, moving back to my molecule over here, I'm going to start with the first one on the left, my atom A. The very first thing that I'm going to add here, this carbon, we have an implicit hydrogen which is going to be looking at us in this case. And notice that whenever we are drawing our implicit atoms, if those atoms are going to be on the wedge or a dash, I need to make sure that my wedges and dashes are on the same side of the molecule. As a rule of thumb, never cross your plane lines and never draw your dashes and wedges on the opposite sides of those plane lines. They always gotta be on the same side of the molecule. Alright, so looking at my molecule, at the first level I have my carbon of interest, and that carbon of interest is connected to a hydrogen, which was my implicit hydrogen. We also have another carbon that we have over here on the dash. Then we have another carbon that we have on the plane line to the right. And finally, we have one more carbon on the bottom. At this point, the only thing that we can say is that our hydrogen is going to have the lowest priority, so we're going to assign it priority 4 right away. Because we have 3 carbons that are connected to our carbon of interest, we got to see what else is connected to those guys. My carbon on the right side is connected to another carbon and a couple of hydrogens, which never actually matter, so typically I don't even mention the hydrogens and just skip them. But here, for the completeness sake, I am going to show them nonetheless. Now, the bottom carbon, we are connected to one real oxygen, and because we have a carbon-oxygen double bond, we also have a phantom oxygen there, so we count that connection twice. We are also connecting to the nitrogen over there as well. And the carbon on the left side, that guy is just connected to one more carbon and a couple more hydrogens, which are I'm also going to show those here for the clarity's sake. So at this point we can see that we have oxygen versus carbon, carbon, so that means that our bottom group has the first priority. Now, my group on the right and my group on the left, they don't have any differences right now, which means that we got to look at the next level and see what those are connected to. So my purple carbon on the right side, which would be this guy in my molecule, that one is connected to a nitrogen, and we have a connection to another carbon, plus of course we have an implicit hydrogen there as well. The carbon on the left side, which would be this guy in my structure, well, that one is connected to a real carbon. Because that is a double bond, we have a phantom carbon, and of course we have one more hydrogen there. At this point we have a nitrogen versus carbons and hydrogens, which means that my right side group has the next priority, so that one is going to be my priority number 2, and the group on the left side, that one is going to be my priority number 3. So in other words, what I ended up with here in this case is a stereocenter where I have my lowest priority looking at me, second priority on the right side, first priority on the bottom, and third priority on the left on the dash. Since my lowest priority, my number 4 over here, is not looking away from me, I need to rotate that stereocenter in space, and in order to do that, I'm going to use a double flip method, where I'm going to flip two pairs of groups at the same time. So in this case, since I want my lowest priority to look away from me, I'm going to flip-flop 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, giving me the same stereocenter but now rotated in space. So here I'm going to have 3 like that, 4 over here, 2 and 1. So now my lowest priority is in the back. I am going to follow my priorities 1, 2, 3 clockwise, which means that this is the R stereodescriptor. Now, moving on to my next atom, I'm going to be looking at this guy over here. So again, I'm going to show my carbon of interest, and in this case, this carbon of interest also has an implicit hydrogen, which is going to be on the dash. In this particular case, it is going to be looking away from us, which in a long run going to make our life a little bit easier. So I'm going to draw that I have my carbon over here. It is connected to one carbon. It is also connected onto the nitrogen. Then we have this wedge over here, which is connecting to the carbon. And finally, we have a dash connecting to another hydrogen. So at this point, we can immediately say that our hydrogen is going to be our lowest priority, the nitrogen is going to be our highest priority, and the only thing that we have left is to decide which of the two carbons is going to have the higher priority than the other one. Like in the previous case, here we got to look at our carbons and what exactly those carbons are connected to. So the carbon on the right side, we are connected to the real oxygen. Because that is a double bond, we are also connected to the phantom oxygen, and we have another carbon over there. The carbon on the left side, that one has a couple of hydrogens, so I'm going to show them like that. And we are also going to see a connection to another carbon. So at this point, I see that I have oxygen versus carbon, meaning that my group on the right side has a higher priority, so that one is going to be my priority number 2, and the one on the left is going to be my priority number 3. So I'm going to redraw my stereocenter, showing my priorities 1, 2, 3, and 4. Since my priority number 4 is already at the back, I can assign my RNS stereodescriptor right away by seeing how 1, 2, 3 follow each other. In this particular case, they go counterclockwise, and the counterclockwise, that is the S stereodescriptor. Alright, and we have our last stereocenter, which is going to be a carbon right over here. So moving on to this guy, I don't have any implicit hydrogens or anything else here. Everything is already showing clearly, so that again going to make my life a little bit easier, so I don't have to assign anything, any extra groups there or anything of that sort. So we have our carbon of interest, which is connected to one carbon on the top. We have this oxygen over here on the wedge. We then have another carbon on the dash. And finally, we have another carbon on the left side on the plane line. At this point, I can immediately say that my oxygen is going to be my highest priority, so I'm going to give it number 1. But when it comes to our carbons, we gotta look at the next level. So for my top carbon, I have 3 connections to hydrogens, so I'm going to show those hydrogens like that. The one on the bottom on the dash, that one is connected to one carbon and a couple of hydrogens like so. And the one on the left side is connected to one carbon and 2 hydrogens as well. At this point, we can see that we have carbon versus a bunch of hydrogens, which means that my top group is going to be my lowest priority, so I'm going to assign that priority number 4 right away, and we are going to continue with our analysis of the other two groups. So going on to the next level, the bottom group, that carbon is connected to 3 hydrogens, so I'm going to show those 3 hydrogens here, and the carbon on the left side, that one is this carbon over here in my actual molecule, so that guy is connected to one real oxygen. Because that is a double bond, we also have our phantom oxygen, and we have another carbon. So at this point we have oxygens versus a bunch of hydrogens, which means that my side chain on the left side is going to be my priority number 2, while the bottom chain is going to be my priority number 3. So at this point I get the following stereocenter. I get my priority number 1 on the right group, that is on the wedge. I get priority number 4 on the plane line that is going up. I get priority number 2 left on the plane line, and finally I have my priority number 3 on the dashed bond going to the bottom. Now in this case my lowest priority number 4 does not look away from me, so again I need to make sure that that guy is looking away before I assign my RNS stereodescriptors, so I am going to do a double flip here in this case as well, like I did in my first example. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip my 4 and 3, so those two guys are going to get flip-flopped, and also I'm going to flip-flop 1 and 2, so I'm going to change the positioning of those two guys. And in this case I'm going to end up with the following stereocenter. Now my number 4 is indeed looking away from me, and 1, 2, and 3 follow each other counterclockwise, so this one is also the S stereodescriptor. Now, here is something really important that I want to point out about this specific example. This example has what I would like to call a trap that specifically tests for students using tricks to assign their RNS stereodescriptors. And what I mean by the trick here is that when your lowest priority does not look away from you, some people just assign the stereodescriptors as is and then just change the letter. Well, in this case, if you try to do that trick, you will end up with the incorrect stereodescriptor. So instead of using those tricks, just changing the letter mindlessly, make sure that you are actually understanding where those tricks are coming from and when they can be used. And the easiest way around would probably be never to use tricks. I have this double flip method that I teach in my stereochemistry videos, and that one is a foolproof method. It will always give you the correct assignments. It doesn't rely on any tricks. This is just a method how you can rotate your stereocenter in space rather than relying on any tricks. So make sure that instead of doing tricks, you actually understand the rules and you know how to approach your problems correctly. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, boop the like button, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.